Hi, my name is Giancarlo, and this is my How to Make a Diorama Display video. I'll be demonstrating this by taking an idea from concept to completion. In a run-through of the process, I'll be going over various phases of design. My display gives reference to Amiibo, specifically Link. It's intended to be displayed alongside an older video game collection. This is the Gamenook, a Surreal adventure. During this phase, I'll sketch out the key items I want to exhibit on this display. Let's start with the vertical aspect. I envision the Amiibo at a prominent height and location. This is why I raised the base a couple of inches from the bottom surface. The placement will be on the front-facing quadrant of the display. Opposite will be the other dominant feature. Just blocking it out for now. Given that this Nook is intended for a Wii U game case, I note the standard length and provide a 6-inch width. An offset at the front carves out a nice place for my title and logo. I indicate the base's height, and then return to the features I had left alone. It's a weather vane. A post-width bracket will support the vane on top. The height is capped at 7.5 inches. Tiles surround the base, and the perimeter edge delineates the boundary. Callouts are placed to identify material changes. This will help with paint selections in later phases. A masterpiece fit for the fridge. My first step is to draft the items with a known dimension. In this case, that's the outline of the Gamenook and the diameter of the Amiibo base. Using the perimeter edge, I'll delineate where changes in the surface occur. Gravel sits beneath the vane, and grass will surround it. Next, I map out rectilinear shapes. One is to be used for tiling, and the other the vane's base, respectively. Clusters of my line work are duplicated at consistent offsets. This allows me to work quickly on a particular element before shifting it back to the group. I then create another set of copies and use it to make surfaces for extruding shapes. This would be the best moment within this phase to make changes or edits. A few shifts later and my volumes are blocked out. I'm midway through this phase and need to apply my details now. I'll be laser cutting this Gamenook and use 1/16 inch material. Furthermore, planar forms will be used only. The rooster looks just like it did in my sketch. A quick turnaround for approval and I'm ready to recreate the model. This time, using 1/16 inch panels. Beautiful. Here's an example of how to prep one element for lasering, scoreline work included. You can see that multiple panels are used to thicken the rooster. Since I don't want to clean up every surface, I'll delete the duplicate forms and create copies of the vector line work later on. Offsetting provides a clear visual of what makes up this rooster. I extract single surface planes for unrolling and lay those pieces apart. With the quantities laid out, I can extract the edges. I'm going to focus on the wing for introducing scoreline work. I'll delete one copy since it'll get mirrored afterwards. A duplicate of the smaller wing portion is set on top of the larger piece. I mirror, explode the smaller wing, and delete the overlap portion. A quick selection reveals that there is no overlap of either form. As the title card states, I'm going to demonstrate the technique I've used for cleaning up laser cut models. So these pieces are freshly removed from my laser cutter. The edges have soot. This creates two sets of problems. Soot smears and will rub off everywhere, not the most appealing look when it does. The second problem is that soot is burnt material, so when you apply glue, you'll be gambling on whether the pieces are adhered to edges or this burnt residue. Luckily, the solution is inexpensive, but time-consuming. You'll need water and one paper towel. I'd recommend cutting the paper in half since you won't immediately use the whole thing. Fold, wet, and strain the towel. Do this for both pieces. Now grab your nearest display piece and run every edge across the paper towel a few times. Simple enough? Now do it again, and again, and again, about a few dozen more times. It seems tedious, but I wouldn't necessarily consider this step a chore. I use this time to get in touch with my thoughts or listen to music. I'd definitely recommend playing an extended edit of Tall Heights. And complete. Not much left to do here since I'm trying something new with this build. I've gone ahead and glued the individual elements based on color. This was done to save on time since I won't need to paint each and every piece. It also helps reduce the chance of smudging glue on the finished paint. Let's see how it goes. A Surreal adventure has been dreamt up, built, and is ready to be placed on a shelf. This is actually the first Gamenook I developed and created, inspired by my wife's first playthrough of the game. She's new to gaming and kept trimming grass around this area in search of rupees. Now that memory has become a tangible part of my collection. I hope you'll refer to the steps in this tutorial to develop a Nook that commemorates a fond moment too. You don't need to rely on technical know-how, just put pencil to paper. Or stylus to tablet, if that's your thing. Please engage in the chat below, and if you like, subscribe. Both will help the channel grow. Thanks for your time. A Surreal adventure is part of a series with 9 other Gamenook designs. Be sure to follow on other social media outlets to be aware of what they are. Approximate release dates will be posted. Links below.